Good morning, Dan McGuire from Big River Angling Adventures, and I'm going to take a little time today to show you how I set up my custom contour shading with my C-Map and my HDS Pro. One of the features that I really like about the Lowrance units is that they do come preloaded with a C-Map base map. And currently I'm running a live and a carbon, and I'm adding the Pro into my Lowrance network on my Alumacraft. And so again, one of the things that I appreciate about these and one of the features that I like to make sure that I've got set up is the contour shading. And what that does for me is it really gives me that depth at a glance. And so it shows your break lines will really pop, your flats will really pop, your shallow water, your deep water areas if you set up your custom contour shading. So I'm going to take a little time, and I'm currently setting up my HDS Pro, and I'll show you how I do that with that particular unit and the C-Map Discover. All right, well, we're out in the Alumacraft here now, and we've got the HDS Pro. Everything's mounted here in the boat itself, got power and everything running to the unit. And so once you power things up, you want to go to your Pages menu. And from here, you want to select Chart so that we can go in and do our custom contour shading with our C-Map. What we're looking at here then is this is the base map. This is the C-Map Discover. Again, for the bodies of water that I fish, this is a great base map for this unit. I find it to be very accurate. So from here, once we've selected menu, we're going to go to more options. Select chart options down in the lower right hand corner. Then at this point, we're going to scroll the menu up. Bottom right hand corner, again, select shading. Now when you take a look here, we're going to be able to set up two depth palettes if we wanted to. So we've got depth 1 and depth 2. To set those up and to put in the colors that we choose, select custom. And by default, it's going to give you depth 1 as our first color palette. You see, I could choose depth 2 if I wanted to. One of the first things you're going to notice here on the left hand side is our depths are set in 10-foot increments until we hit 50. Once we hit 50, then we jump to 75 and then to 150. And when I'm setting up my contour shading, I like to have my depths in 5-foot increments, and you could do whatever increments you want. Just for this general shading, I'm going to go with 5-foot increments. So first thing I need to do then, since we go from 0 to 10, I'm going to check my 0 depth. And so my depth is corrected 0. My color is set to red, and that's the color that I like to use for my 0 depth point. My opacity, or the intensity at which I'm going to see that color, is at 100%. So I'm going to select OK. Now, I need to go in and add a point because I do not have a 5-foot depth point. So at the lower left hand, select Add Point. This pulls up this menu. I need to choose 5-foot depth. I'm going to toggle over. And at the top up here, I'm going to add 5 as my depth point. Click OK. Now I need to change my color. I do not want the blue that's selected there. I like to have orange for 5 foot. So I select color, go in. Click on the orange. All that looks good to me. Opacity at 100. I'm going to select OK. One of the other things I'm going to do at this point too is I don't intend to see 150 foot of water. So I'm going to delete the depth point of 150. I also don't intend to see 75 feet of water. I'm going to delete the 75 foot depth point as well. So I've got my 0, 5, 10. I need to add another point to get me at 15. But before I do that, I want to just double check my 10-foot depth point. Everything looks good there. It's at 10. I do like to use yellow for my 10-foot depth point. So I'm just going to click OK. Everything's the way it should be. Select Add Point. I go into my depth. Toggle over. And I'm going to add the depth point of 15, select OK. Again, I don't want to use that dark blue color here. I like to use green. So select my color, green's down at the bottom. Scroll up with that, choose green, select OK. So right now everything's looking real good, even though that's hidden. My 0 is red. My 0 is red, my 5 is orange, my 10 is yellow, and my 15 is green. All right, so I paused the video for just a little bit there. I didn't figure you'd see me go in and add a couple points and double check some of the points that were already there. I didn't think you needed to watch me go through every single one. So what you can see here on the left-hand side, I've got all of my depth increments in 5 foot. And then once I hit 40, I jump right to 50. Everything from 35 to 50 is going to be white, but I've got all of my other colors set up the way that I want them for my depth palette 1. So at this point, let's go in and overlay depth 1 on our C-Map base map. So there we've got our base map. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select depth 1. And the little orange arrow here in the bottom corner is the indicator that shows me that what I'm seeing here is my depth 1. And again, taking a look at this, you can see how easy it is to see your depth at a glance, and how those colors really make certain structures in that pop. You can see your shallow areas, your deep areas, your drop-offs are well defined, your flats and that are defined and really pop. So again, I think this is a great feature of the Lowrance and the C-Map. It's something that I definitely utilize in my daily fishing, and really like the ability to help break down a body of water, and to use it both when I'm fishing and when I'm running. So let's go back here again, take a look. There it is without the depth shading. And there it is with. So hopefully I've helped you here a little bit with this, and you can go in and do the same, do your custom contour shading on your Lowrance HDS units, and it'll help you to be more effective and to utilize your C-Maps.